So let's go ahead and create a brand new inventory cycle count. And I'm going to click add inventory cycle count. And you'll have a modal here that allows you to choose the location that you want to initiate the cycle count to. So I'm going to choose this location here. You can assign users to this. So these are the people that are going to be responsible for this cycle count. And when you choose a location like a truck, for example, you'll have to make sure that the technician that's assigned to that truck is an assigned user. You can always assign more people to do the cycle count, but if you don't assign that particular person, they're not actually going to see it within the iOS application. I'm going to click on a start date. So let's go ahead and choose today and end date. And what this does is it actually will notify the user that there is a cycle count that needs to be conducted within this time period. And they will be notified via email, as well as it'll be sent a push notification if they're on their iOS or Android device. So I'm going to click add new inventory count. Start date needs to be in the future. Click add new inventory account. And so this is going to start by today, basically. And then it's due by the 21st. Now, there's no like repercussions if it's not due. Like Apply doesn't like shut the location down. This is really for you to kind of manage the expectation with the employee or with your team to ensure that you have this done in whatever time period you want. You can see here now that we've added our first inventory count. There is a brand new Kanban board that you can then manage the experience here. Now, you can't really do anything right now with the upcoming because there's really nothing that's coming. We haven't activated it yet, so there's nothing to like look at. So it's just a blank board here. And so because cycle counts are a mobile action, that action will be taken on the mobile device to activate the cycle count. You can, however, edit the information if you've made a mistake or you need to add additional users, or if you need to delete this, you can also click delete. All right, great. So now I'm actually going to show my screen from this device. I'm going to go over to Apply and open it up, and I'm going to head over to the menu here and click on inventory counts. And you can see now I have a inventory count that is ready to be started, and I can begin this inventory count here. So when I click on it, it's going to give me a list of all of the inventory items within my warehouse that I'm counting. A future release that we're going to be having is being able to choose a percentage of random material. So you can choose like 25% or 50% as an example, or you can choose a selected number of materials. We did get a request recently from someone that wanted to do maybe high dollar materials. So if your inventory truck, maybe you don't need anything less than $100 to be counted or $50 to the business. So those are some things that are coming up, but right now it just initiates a full cycle count that you can then modify. A couple of things to note here. You have uncounted materials and counted materials, and you have the ability of initiating the scanning as well. So if you're in your warehouse and you want to scan an item, you can just hold it up and it will find that item, and then you can make a subsequent adjustment to that item. Let's go ahead and adjust a couple of items here. So a couple things to note: when you hit the edit button for adjusting a cycle count in item, for technicians, it's not going to show the old. It's going to just show them the new amount is that they're counting. So it'll basically show them zero. It won't show them this old to new. And let's say that this particular item, we counted it and there is two more than we expected. And I'm going to hit apply. You can see that goes into the counted section. It shows old to new. Let's do a few more together. So we counted this one and this one is great. Scroll here and do a couple more. Do some of these lights. Let's say that this one is underrepresented. And we'll do a couple of these as well. And once you have your Apply warehouse implementation live, this is a lot faster, especially for the full cycle count, because you can just scan the barcode. So you can just go up to it, count, scan, change the quantity, and you're done. Let's take a look at our counted tab really quickly. You can see those items here. You can make adjustments too if you do need to edit the item again. Let's say you made a mistake, or let's say you found an item in like another bin, for example, and then you need to replace it and just put it back to where it's supposed to go. And you just need to adjust it perhaps to the new amount. We could just do it like that. And let's go ahead and click next steps. So once you click next, you'll be able to see an inventory count report card, if you will. It's going to show you the analytics around the accuracy of those materials. And so you can see this chart here. It's showing us that 20% of our materials are accurate. One is fully accurate. And you can see the adjusted quantities here and the ones that match that quantity that had no adjustments. So when you click on finish inventory count at this point, what's going to end up happening is it's going to adjust those materials across the board automatically. So let's say you did 100 material adjustments. 50% of them were accurate, 50% of them were not. The 50% that were not accurate are then going to adjust to the new counted amount. And until I click this button, it will not change the inventory count. So I'm going to click finish, confirm. And there we go. We've successfully done our first inventory count here. You can see that this is still pending because we need to actually finish the inventory count. We've just submitted it. So one of the things to keep in mind is you have a technician or a member that's performing a cycle count. The thing they are going to need to have happen is for some other permission, like a manager or an admin, to be able to complete the inventory count. So I'm kind of showing you on both sides how that looks like, because there is a checks and balances depending on their permission. When I click finish inventory count here, it's been marked successful. Now it's been finished. It's gone to the finish tab. And again, you can click onto this. It retains the history of this inventory count. Now, again, keep in mind that inventory counts are predominantly something that's done mobile. That's why the bulk of the functionality exists within the mobile applications for iOS and Android. You can actually create a brand new inventory count on your mobile device if you want. And there is one extra feature here that is not yet on the website, is you can actually choose to repeat this. So if you wanted to, you can say that I want to repeat this every year for this particular location that I'm choosing. And we can assign those users that are responsible for this, the start date that we want the first one to be started, the end date. And let's actually, just for purposes of demonstration, do this every month. And click add new. And so what this will do is it will queue up upcoming ones as they come up. It's not going to show all 12 of them. It will show the next one that's upcoming. So don't be alarmed if you don't see 12 inventory counts come up here. It's going to show you the next one after this one's been completed. All right, great. So let's go over to the iOS application, or sorry, the web application. We're going to click on inventory counts, and you can see we now have these two inventory counts. One we created on the iOS application and one that we completed, but made on the desktop. And I'm going to click on this. And so you can actually see this report card happen. And it's a little bit more in depth for the web experience. And this one is completed. Let me go ahead on the iOS application, start this one so you can see the difference. Just adding a few materials to this inventory count so we can generate a report card. All right, so if we go back now, just refresh the screen, we'll be able to see that this one's waiting for confirmation. So just to go over the different statuses here, we have upcoming. These are ones, again, that you can't click on. They don't have a report card yet. They haven't been started by whoever needs to start them. These are active. So you can see ones that are in an active state. Really try to make sure that if you're doing an inventory cycle count, that you try to complete it within that day. Leaving an active open cycle count just will cause a little bit of havoc within the organization, because if someone pulls something that you've already counted, then the inventory count is obviously off already. So keep in mind, try to carve out however many hours you need to complete that inventory count within that day. We can click into this inventory count though. This is one that has been completed that I just did. And you can actually take a look at these materials here. And you can look at the report card and confirm these results. And again, by doing this, it will actually change the inventory count of that location. So now we have two inventory counts from this one location that's completed. Go take a look at this, see what's going on. And you can see that these materials have been adjusted accordingly as well. These are the materials that match up to the adjustments.